I found out my son wasn't mine on a Tuesday afternoon. Not through a test, not through a fight, not even because I was looking for the truth. It was a joke. A stupid, harmless joke at a family dinner that went just a little too far. "Wow, he looks nothing like you." Everyone laughed. Even me. Because that's what you do when something is uncomfortable, but not serious enough to ruin the moment. You laugh. You brush it off. You let it pass. But something about the way my brother said it. It lingered. Not the words. The tone. Like he didn't mean it as a joke. Like it slipped out before he could stop himself. I remember glancing at my wife. Just for a second. She was smiling. But her eyes weren't. And that was the first crack. My son's name is Ethan. He's 8 years old. He loves dinosaurs, hates vegetables, and insists on sleeping with the hallway light on because he says the dark feels too loud. I've been there for every part of his life. Every birthday. Every scraped knee. Every night he woke up crying and needed someone to sit next to him until he fell back asleep. I taught him how to ride a bike. Held the back of the seat longer than I needed to, just so he wouldn't be scared. I was there. For everything. So when someone says, "He doesn't look like you," you don't think, "He's not mine." You think, "That's a weird thing to say." And then you move on. Except I didn't. That night, after everyone left, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not in a paranoid way. Not like I was searching for something. Just small details. Things I had never questioned before. Ethan's eyes. They're green. Mine are brown. My wife's are brown. Genetics are weird, she once said when I mentioned it years ago. I believed her. Ethan's hair is lighter than both of ours. His skin tone slightly different. Things that never felt important before started to line up in a way I couldn't ignore anymore. I hated myself for even thinking it. Because what kind of father questions something like that? So I did what any normal person would do. I tried to forget it. For a week, I pushed it down, buried it under routine. Work, family, normal life. But once a thought like that enters your mind, it doesn't leave. It waits, quietly, until something else feeds it. And it did. A few days later, I was cleaning out an old drawer in our bedroom, looking for nothing in particular. That's when I found the envelope. No label, no name, just tucked under a stack of old documents. I almost didn't open it. I wish I hadn't. Inside was a receipt from a clinic, dated 9 years ago. Confidential testing services. My heart started pounding. I didn't understand. Not yet. Until I saw the line underneath. Paternity analysis. I stopped breathing. Because Ethan is 8, and this receipt was from before he was born, which meant someone already had doubts, long before me. I sat there for a long time, holding that paper, trying to make sense of it. There were only 2 possibilities. Either it meant nothing, or it meant everything. I didn't confront her, not immediately, because deep down, I already knew. And once you say it out loud, you can't take it back. That night, I watched Ethan sleep. He was curled up on his side, holding onto that stupid dinosaur he refuses to throw away. I sat there for almost an hour, looking at him, trying to find myself in his face. Something. Anything. But for the first time, I couldn't. And that terrified me. Because nothing had changed. He was still the same kid. But suddenly, everything felt different. I finally asked her 2 days later. We were in the kitchen. Nothing dramatic, just a normal evening. Who else knew? That's what I said. Not, is he mine? Not, did you cheat? Just that. Because at that point, I wasn't asking anymore. I was confirming. She froze, just for a second, but it was enough. Then she sat down. Slowly, like her body had already given up. "I was going to tell you," she said. "No one ever is." After he was born, I thought it didn't matter anymore. Didn't matter? I laughed, not because it was funny, because I didn't know what else to do. "How long?" I asked. She didn't answer right away, and somehow, that silence hurt more than anything she could have said. "A few months before I got pregnant." My chest felt tight. "Who is he?" She shook her head. "It doesn't matter." It mattered. Of course it mattered. But I didn't push, because suddenly, that wasn't the part that hurt the most. "What about the test?" I asked. Her eyes flicked to the counter, then back to me. "I had one done when I was pregnant." "And?" She hesitated, and in that moment, I felt something break, because I already knew the answer. "He's not yours." Silence. Just like that. 8 years, reduced to a single sentence. I thought I would feel anger, rage, betrayal. But what I felt instead was something worse. Confusion. Because none of it changed the memories. None of it erased the years. None of it made Ethan any less mine. I didn't leave. Not that night. Not the next. Because I didn't know what leaving even meant anymore. You can walk away from a marriage, but how do you walk away from a child? I tried to act normal. For him. Woke him up for school, made breakfast, helped him with homework. But something inside me had shifted. Every time he called me Dad, it felt different. Not wrong, just heavier. Like the word meant more than it used to. A week later, she asked me something. "Are you going to tell him?" I looked at her, at the person I thought I knew, and realized I didn't recognize her anymore. "No," I said, because whatever happened between us had nothing to do with him. He didn't ask for this. He didn't choose this, and I wasn't going to let his world break, just because mine did. We're still living in the same house, for now. Things are quiet. Not peaceful, just quiet. Like something is waiting to end. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if I'll stay or leave, or if any of that even matters anymore. All I know is this. I may not be his father by blood, but I was there for every moment that mattered. And maybe that's the only thing that ever did.